Hello, how are you doing today? Today I wanted to take you on a journey of a story of a long, 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 long time ago, back to the year 2009. An extremely long, long, long time ago. I remember going with my friend, we went out to we wanted to try out this Italian dish, Italian restaurant. And I said to my friend, I said, "Well, do they have breadsticks?" And my friend said, "Well, I think they do have breadsticks, but I wanted to make absolutely sure that they had breadsticks." Now, my friend, who is pretty cool, he's one of my millions of friends. He's uh, pretty cool. His name is uh, Zachary Zachary, and his last name is Mapleton. And we went to this Italian dish. It was in the northeast part of town where I lived at, and we stopped, but we wanted to look at this new factory they were going to build. It was a steel mill on the northeast side of town, and they were it was not a steel mill factory, but it was like uh, what do you call, like a little place there where they prefab. Yes, I apologize. It was a prefab production place for a steel mill, and this steel mill was in another town. It was actually 50 miles east, but it made him easier to go to this part. I mean, because they went to another this they went to the northwest part of another city. See, this was in the northeast part of the city, and in the northeast part of this city, they did the prefab, but in order to do the transportation of the steel, the certain steel, they had to go to another town of the northwest part of the steel. So it was in between both locations. So where this Italian dinner was, but of course, I'll get to the Italian dish, and I'll make a very, very long story short. Well, shorter than uh, it. I'll just, you know, I'll tell you, but you have to promise me you'll listen to the whole story. So I went to the story, or went to the, I went to the story, or I went to the, sorry, we went to the Italian dish, and the Italian restaurant there, and after all, they did serve breadsticks. But my friend Zachary Mapleton was saying, you know what, we should uh, maybe have seconds for, because this is really good. The Italian dish was really good. Uh, the Italian dish was very excellent, and it had this. They had this linguine pesto. This pesto sauce was absolutely tremendous, and it brought a tantalizing uh, tantalizing uh, tantalizing thing to your taste buds. It did like your taste buds were tantalized by the amazing pesto. The pesto was absolutely great. Now, it was really one of those dishes where we had to have seconds, and it was like, is it? They were in there. They usually have a buffet, and we didn't want the buffet, but we thought they didn't have the buffet, right? And they had the buffet, but they we didn't know that they had the buffet, and it's like, oh. Then we got in there, and it's like we were all kind of excited. This is back in 2009, a long, 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 long time ago. So back in 2009, when I said to my friend Zachary Mapleton, I said to him, I said, I didn't know they had buffet. My friend Zachary Mapleton, you know his reply? You know his reply? You know his reply? You know what his reply was? His reply was, I didn't know either, Mr. Random Green. And I said, wait. I said, wait, what? You know, and it's like, and he says, Zachary Mapleton says, well, I'm a prophet, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about in the future. And so on, and sure enough, you know, Zachary Mapleton is a prophet. By, you know, you have to, you know, it's amazing how this went. It's just, my life it's been so amazing. It's never been a dull moment. We can, you know, we get excited. It's like, man, it's like, I told Zachary, I remember Zachary Mapleton. I said, Zachary Mapleton. I said, Zachary William was his middle name. Wallace was his middle name. I'm sorry, Zachary Wallace Mapleton. I said, Zachary Wallace Mapleton. What's going on with you know? It's kind of ironic that, you know, because this is back in 2009, a long time ago, where Zachary Mapleton was we were hanging out at the Italian restaurant. And did you want to know how we got there? Well, I went to Zachary Mapleton's place, picked him up, and we drove to that place on the northeast side of town. This Italian dish was absolutely amazing, and the Italian dish was so good, so tasty, so, oh, you would have been blown away with awe and wonder. And I think they actually moved to the southwest part of town where I live. They moved, so that was in the northeast part of town, right? And then they moved the location to the southwest part of town. The owner originally wanted a second location, but he thought, well, he actually opened up the second location, the owner, okay? He opened up the second location. And he opened it, right? He opened the second location. And when he opened the second location, he really wanted to to test to see if he get more business. But of course, he got more business in the southwest part of town than the northeast part of town, because the northeastern part of town had a really good Chinese dish, a really amazing, excellent Chinese dish with all the excellent Chinese food. They have the best egg rolls. They have the best. Oh, it's so amazing. But so when we got to the hold on one second. Okay, just good. So when we got to the Italian dish, it's the restaurant. You wouldn't believe what it's called. You want to know what it's called? You want to know what it's called? You want to know what it's called? Okay, enough. I'm leaving you in suspense, and you're like, oh, just tell me what it's called, please. It's called Italian dish. Italian restaurant is called the Italian dish. So the Italian dish, had served, again, one of the best linguine pestos. One of the best. Home cooking. Not as good as my mom's. My mama, she's Italian too. And I didn't tell you that I was 25% Italian. But, you know, like I say, it's amazing, just like my mama's home cooking. You know, my mama's home cooking, like paisan. My mama's home cooking. Anyway, the Italian dish, getting back to the buffet, we were really bummed. We were like, okay. I told Zachary Wallace Mapleton, I was like, hey, Zachary Wallace Mapleton, because he always said, just please call me by all my names. Don't leave any of them out, because, you know, that's being really bad against names. And he was a big guy on names. He was like, names, you know, please. Whenever he talked to people, he was like, please. You know, Zachary Wallace Mapleton, just call me all my three names. If you're going to call me, if you want something, then say my first name, my middle name, and my last name. Boy, he was awesome. He really, you know, never got old when someone called him his first name, he was all like, it's like, excuse me, it's Zachary Wallace Mapleton. Say it. Say my first name, my middle name, and my last name. That's proper respect. And you have to respect kind of guys like that would say, look, Zachary Wallace Mapleton is one of those names where it resonates with you because you're like, whoa, you demand so much respect. But getting to the point, and when we got to the restaurant, when we were at the restaurant, I said to him, Zachary Wallace Mapleton, what's up with the dinner? I mean, our buffet. How come there's not a buffet? I mean, did you not know there was a buffet? And he said, no, I didn't. And I was like, oh, I didn't know either. And they had a buffet like 2 or 3 months before, and then just the like few days ago, they were doing some maintenance on it, and they didn't have buffet. They just served dinner. They just served their regular dishes, which is fine. But back in 2009, a long time ago, right? Eons of time ago. Holy cow, a long time ago. We said, look, please give us our back when we were at the restaurant, I was like, man, I wish we could go back to the buffet. But we had the dish. It was excellent. Very, very tasty. Zachary Wallace Mapleton had some water. You want to know what he had for his main dish? He had the lasagna. That's the lasagna. And the lasagna looked good, and I really wanted to have lasagna. I was like, we were kind of bummed that we wanted the buffet, but so we were going to go back to the northeast part of town, and we didn't know. See, this is back in 2009, a very, very long time ago, where social media just was in the it was almost like the Stone Age. You think about back in 2009 versus 2024, you think, whoa, how far the technology has come. And we didn't really, you heard stuff over the paper. There was still the paper back in 2009. It's just absolutely incredible. So we went to the northeast part of town to go to that Italian restaurant because we wanted the buffet. This is a couple months later. Sure enough, the location says, "Oh, did you not know that the Italian dish is located in the southwest part of town?" And the note said, just in case if there's a couple people that are kind of didn't catch on to this with the new locations at the southwest part of town. And it originally said the note, it said, well, it's going to be we wanted to keep this location open, but this location was kind of slow. Because me and Zachary Wallace Mapleton, we love the northeast part of town. But getting back to the steel mill, prefab, it wasn't a factory. It would have been, we were kind of bummed though about when we the first time we went there, and then even the second time we went up there to try the buffet, we were upset, but we wanted to look at the steel mill prefab factory. Well, steel prefabrication center, their work area, the place of business. So we said, well, man, imagine if we could have a big, huge steel mill here. That would have been really cool because there's a lot of area, a lot of room. I was like, I said, Zachary Wallace Mapleton, maybe even 2 or 3 miles up the road, and then maybe 1 or 2 miles that way, they could have built a big, huge steel mill, and then they could have had a big, huge mine. They could have, or a big, huge anything, a bunch of factories up there. There's a lot of area up there. It's like, why don't they just put that stuff in that area? I mean, and Zachary Wallace Mapleton was almost in tears over it. I was like, settle down, Zachary Wallace Mapleton. I didn't mean to make you upset. Are you okay? Are you okay, Zachary Wallace Mapleton? And then I said, Zachary, are you okay? Then he slapped me. And I was like, whoa, oh yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. Well, he didn't slap me. He was about to slap me. I take it back. I retract that statement. He was about to slap me. I was like, whoa. I grabbed his hand because I'm so fast. And I was like, it's like, boom, karate chop. It's like, ugh. So I was like, ooh. So I said to him, just hold on a second. So I said to him, I says to him, so I says to him, I says to him, I says to him, I'm sorry, Zachary Wallace Mapleton. And he was like, well, Random Green. I'm like, why do you keep on calling me Random Green? And it was like, he goes, I'm sorry. Then he calls me by my real name. He was like, Mr. Green, I'm sorry. And I said, I'm sorry. Or he said he's sorry. Like, you'll understand what I mean by Random Green in the future. This guy's amazing, Zachary Wallace Mapleton. He was one of the best guys of all time. So then, this is still back in like 2009. I can't remember exact month or exact day. I don't know what exact day it was, but we wanted to pinpoint the exact day, and we wanted to know who was driving in the 3 p.m. It was 5 o'clock in the afternoon, 5 p.m. 5 p.m. in the afternoon, or 5 p.m. Yeah, 5 p.m. in the afternoon. We wanted to know who was driving. Like, it would have been interesting to have do an examination or do like a study on how many blue cars and how many red cars would go on the street, and because it was truly amazing. It's one of those things where you would be blown away with awe. Just having a conversation with Zachary Wallace Mapleton was truly one of a kind. He really got me to focus on trains, and he got me to focus on factories, and he got me to focus on I was already enthused about trains and factories and stuff before my my life, but prior to that. But Zachary Wallace Mapleton just kind of influenced me to dig deeper into the factories and the production factories and the numbers and all that. And this guy was amazing. He was a good basketball player too. He played in the NBA for a little bit. He was an NBA / NFL / NHL he played in the MLBs too. He was really one of the best. I think he was a Hall of Famer in all 4 of those. I think he was a Hall of Famer, and he made the NHL Hall of Fame, the MLB Hall of Fame, the NFL Hall of Fame, and the NBA Hall of Fame. First ballot Hall of Famer, of course. He was like 7'3", and he could just move so fast, so agile too. He was like really fast, and I'm like, I taught him a lot I taught him how to like block, do a lot of blocking. Like when you do, just use your hands, But so we went to. So what we did was we said, Zachary Wallace Mapleton, you want to go to the southwest part of town to go to the Italian Dish to have that buffet. So he said, okay, sure, that's fine. It's no big deal. I said, well, gas prices. I was like, because I said, if you're going to drive this time, because he drove the second time. He drove the second time. No, I'm serious. He drove the second time. He drove the second time to the place. I drove the first time, I think. But when we went to the southwest part of town, to get the Italian dish, to have the Italian dish at the Italian Dish, because one of their dishes is called at the Italian Dish is, are you ready for it? Okay, settle down, relax, take it easy. It was the Italian Dish. Yes, the Italian Dish is one of their, it's like everything. It's like an everything bowl. They put the linguine, the pesto, the lasagna, the chicken fettuccine Alfredo, mix it up, chop it up, and put it in like a smoothie type. Well, okay, they used to do that. And it was kind of like Zachary Wallace Mapleton had that, and he didn't quite like it. He said, maybe you could just not put the Italian, maybe you could just have them all together and don't make it a smoothie. And so the owner was like, yeah, paisan. Yeah, he's like, so, I was like, and I said, paisan. And I was like, I said that to the other guy there. When I was there, I said that this is the second time. We had the buffet, but it's funny because the server knew us. The server knew us for the northeast location. He was at the southwest location, right? And he said, "We're out of the Italian. We don't have the buffet now. We're just doing the maintenance on it." And I was like, "Zachary Wallace Mapleton." I had to hold it back. I was like, "No, no, no, Zachary Wallace Mapleton, settle down, relax, take it easy." And the guy goes, "Whoa, whoa, Bison, we're just joking." Yeah, I know. So, quite an amazing story. Quite an amazing story of excellence. It's one of those things where we take for granted the amazing stories that we can share on YouTube. And I know this video will go viral. It's going to go. Is it hot in here or just me? It's like, am I blowing hot air or am I just, no, of course not. You obviously know it's a true story. It's not a made up story. Of course not. It's like this. Did you enjoy this video? Were you able to stay awake? Were you able to really, well, anyway, with that, I think, I know you want me to go a little further. You want me to, you're probably going to watch it again. You might even watch this video 10 times in a row. You might even watch it from now on. The only thing you'll ever watch is this channel. Probably nobody in the history, 10,000 years from now, 100,000 years from now, no one will watch anything else except this video. They'll watch it over and over and over and over again. They will. They will. And, yeah. All right. Thanks very much for watching.